When people first saw sign language, they thought that it was a universal language. However, they found out that wasn't true, and they were surprised. Each country has their own sign language, and within each sign language there are variations. Now, a variation is what exactly? For example, ASL has its own variations. One sign could be early. Early can be signed several different ways. Those are all variations. Another sign is birthday, which can be signed several different ways. These are all variations for birthday. Now, all variations are accepted in ASL. How exactly does a variation show up? Well, there are two factors that cause variations. One is a social factor, and the other is a geographical factor. Social factors include your age, your gender, your race, your economic class. Those are all social factors. The geographical factor has to do with where you live. So perhaps there are two towns that are separated from each other, they don't have contact, or maybe there's one road or mountains separating them, they're on the border. That is a geographical factor. Both social and geographical factors can cause variations within a language. One of the variations that we're going to focus on is Black ASL. For a long time, when a group of Black deaf people got together, people would identify that as Black ASL. You could tell because the signs were different, the facial expressions, the movements, and you could identify that because it was different from regular ASL. There are many different ways that you can identify Black ASL, and that is why we would like to research it. There were 4 people who wanted to research Black ASL. Seal Lucas, Carolyn McCaskill, myself, Joseph Hill, and Robert Bailey. The first 3 of us, we went to Gallaudet, and Robert graduated from University of California in Davis. Now the 4 of us got together and we decided 2 questions to ask. The first question is what happened in history that caused Black ASL to show up as a variation, whether, social or geographical factors. Second question is how exactly can you identify Black ASL with linguistic factors? So linguistic factors are facial expressions, movement, hand shape, the signing space that one uses. Those are all linguistic factors. So within that group, we want to know how exactly those linguistic factors are different from a regular group of signers. For this research, we chose several different states, southern states, and the reason why is because the southern states had segregation a long time ago, so the Black deaf students that went to the residential schools, they were grouped together and created their own signs. So we picked 6 states, Texas, Alabama, Virginia, Georgia, and North Carolina. In each state, we set up 2 groups. We have a over 55 group and an under 35 group. The reason why we have the 2 groups is because the older than 55 experienced segregation, whereas the younger group did not. The older group were also curious to see the difference with their facial expressions and their signing space. We want to see if they are similar or different to the younger group. In each group, we analyzed their linguistic factors. Now, we are not going to discuss all of the linguistic factors. We're only going to discuss some of them. One of them is the use of one or two hands for signs. So, the signs for deer with one or two hands, have with one or two hands, I don't know with one or two hands. Two-handed signs seem to be used more just because they are easier to understand. Now, we compared black deaf signers and white deaf signers. We wanted to find out if black deaf signers used one or two. Black deaf signers tend to use two-handed signs, which means they use more general ASL signs. We also focused on the location, whether it was up near the forehead or down near the chin. Some signs like I don't know or what for can be signed either higher or lower. We again compared black deaf signers with white deaf signers, and we found that black deaf signers tend to sign closer to the forehead, while white deaf signers tend to sign closer to the chin. Now, we also analyzed the size of the signing space. It's usually from the forehead down to the waist and from the left shoulder to the right shoulder. For this, we analyzed black deaf signers and white deaf signers, and we noticed that black deaf signers tend to have a bigger signing space. We also analyzed the choices of vocabulary from both groups. For example, North Carolina for science, signs like this. For towel, North Carolina signs like this. And for bathroom, they sign like this. In Texas, their sign for important is this. For chicken, they sign this. And for bathroom, they sign this. Now, in Virginia, their sign for pregnant is this. And their sign for birthday is this. Now, those are those signs for each of those states. Now, we asked the younger group of deaf black signers, how African American English has shown up in their signing, and how they use it with their word choices and their sentences. We wanted to know how it was incorporated into their signing. So some of the examples they gave us included my bad. Another example is girl, please. Another example was that's tight. Example was Stop Trippin'. There were several examples that they provided with us. Now, our research team I'm sorry, my video was slow for a minute. Our research team has done a lot of work, but unfortunately it doesn't answer all of the questions. There's still a lot of research that needs to be done. We're hoping that more people will want to research this and that our research is just a stepping stone for them.